Looking back to this day, years from now, we can say that we were there. What we built from within now begins with a smile and a prayer, taking our inspiration from our sisters and brothers at Tiananmen Square. They've got the watch, but we've got the time.
Our BCTC comrades are in D.C. this weekend, rallying with thousands of people there against the war. And it's just so wonderful to be here in solidarity with them, part of this national upsurge against the war, against this war that's gone on for way too long. 8th anniversary of this war is ridiculous. We've never seen so much protest against a war as we've seen against this war. There were protests of hundreds of thousands of people before the war even got started. And yet this war is continuing. This is ridiculous. We can stop this war. We've got to speak up. And we've got to be willing to be critical of Obama.
If our intention as Americans was to help Iraq, well, we've done a very, very big mistake. And it's going from bad to worse. And we here in the U.S. are suffering, and they in Iraq are suffering.
People in Iraq, people in the U.S. have lost lives, have lost families, have lost infrastructure. And that funding that should have been going to schools, to health care, to things here that we need, has been shifted into this ridiculous imperialist war for oil.
In the same week that Congress was debating cuts in education, from Head Start to college financial aid, in health care from prenatal care to critical research, and in most programs that support our most vulnerable citizens, the Defense Department announced the award of a $35 billion contract to Boeing for 200 new tanker planes to refuel U.S. fighters and bombers in midair. That's $175 million per plane.
The cost of these wars, the wars in Afghanistan and in Iraq, the cost once all the costs are in is going to be around $3 trillion. Who is the potential enemy that requires all these troops, all these bases, all these tanks, planes, and carriers?
Maybe it's Mexico for that saber-rattling cannon.
The simple truth is that we have no enemy who even has a tiny fraction of the military power we possess.
What have we given the Iraqi people? Yes, they got chaos, the country is devastated, and it's a whole society that has been murdered. Genocide, sociocide.
And now it looks like we're going to go to war in another Middle Eastern country. This is ridiculous. So I think we need to start asking some very serious questions. We need to start challenging both parties because they no longer represent us.
In 1956, Dwight Eisenhower warned us, every gun that is made, every warship launched, every rocket fired signifies in the final sense a theft from those who hunger and are not fed, those who are cold and are not clothed.
What have we we've seen in Wisconsin. We've seen the workers struggling for collective bargaining rights. We've seen unions under attack, and Obama has done nothing. Nothing to defend the workers who are struggling for their right to survive, struggling for their basic rights.
Yesterday marked the 8th anniversary of the unfinanced Iraq War that left America fiscally depleted as we entered the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression.
I absolutely love the slogan of this rally because I think it brings up a very important question. What are we investing in? And who profits and who pays?
Corporate fascism. We're on the front line.
And who has benefited? People like Halliburton. They made the money, okay? And we all suffer.
Why keep on feeding the war machine? We take it right out of the mouths of our babies. Take it away from the hands of the poor. Tell me, what are we making weapons for? Tell me, what are we making weapons for?
We all know very well who's paid for this war. Not only financially, but in human lives, in limbs.
They want more blood in the street, from the corporate boardrooms to the Baptist halls. If they don't do what we say, we'll kill them all.
The human cost of what's going on in Iraq is going to haunt us for years to come.
Sacrifice the young. It's so easily done. That's what armies do for the wealth of a few.
How we weaken ourselves through military overspending while failing to invest in infrastructure, education, and the care of our children at home.
When machines and computers, profit motives, and property rights are considered more important than people, the giant triplets of racism, materialism, and militarism are incapable of being conquered.
And I fear for my children as I fear for the future I see. Tell me, how can it be we're still fighting each other? What does it take for a people to learn?
How we need to work for social justice for the most vulnerable in our society and societies around the world.
We must invest in one another's. We must reweave the safety net that protects the poor among us. We must repair our damaged planet and build a sustainable economy.
And the planet said, look at those who have less and see if you will find your spirit there. Well,
We are very powerful, and it's so wonderful to see so many people here today, and to know that all over the country people are rallying at.
Of course, war is never the answer, and what we did in Iraq is criminal, and we are the ones who need to say to our government, this cannot happen, shouldn't have happened, and should never happen again to anybody else.
What do we want?
Peace!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Peace!
When do we want it?
we leave this world with nothing, but we can leave a lot behind. Let's leave peace for the grandchildren of our grandchildren. Let's leave peace. Can't take anything with you, but you can leave peace. Let's leave that.
Just quieting the voices of negativity and strengthening the voice of peace, it makes a difference. Thank you.
The lucid sky is an open fire to me. We watch it burn and it's haunting. You'd agree. Black and white blurred between the lines. Angels try for the truth that can't be said. Yellow slander and purple lies. He's a rainbow that bleeds the color red. He's the same as you and me. I pray